everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian? How's it going?
How we doing, good sir? It's been last week was a great week. I'll just leave it at that.
Good week.
Fantastic week. My voice is finally recovered.
That's awesome. Oh man. And also joining us here in the studio is, wait, what's this? That's not, I didn't put that there.
You should never let me alter any of the Google Docs. I'm just saying, you should never let me alter the Google Docs. Go ahead.
Also joining us here in the virtual studio is Garrett's magnificent master, JJ Purdom.
What? Thank you for that beautiful introduction. What's up, everybody? Adrian, my man, what's going on? Hey, what's up, G? Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you. That was wonderful, man. You did that with conviction, power. I love it. Love it.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why I give you editing access to the doc. That's probably the last time I do that. That's for sure.
Nobody else knows why you would do that either. Right? It's like you're begging for that kind of.
Kind of like when you had admin access on Discord, and then I had to take that away when you changed that.
Yeah.
When you changed the mailbag channel to NSFW, and everyone's like freaking out, like, why? Yeah, why do I gotta
send
accept
us
the terms?
all your questions?
Yeah. So here's the great part: it's literally everybody kept sending me DMs and saying like, dude, you're so funny. That was hilarious. And like, little do you guys know, complete accident. No clue how I did that. Had to have Garrett talk me through fixing it. I don't, fat fingers, no computer knowledge, just saying.
Yeah. Never again. Took those, that power away real quick. Gone. Never again. That's never happening. But man, how's your guys' weeks? I mean, Adrian, we know you just told us you had a good week, got your voice back. JJ, you doing all right? Hanging in there?
I got to get back into little nightmares this week. We did an awesome stream on Wednesday night. I'm going to be back again this coming Wednesday. When this
Spooky
regular,
Gamer Boys.
The Spooky Gamer Boys through the month of October. I'm hitting up Wednesdays. I know Adrian's doing Fridays on Twitch, and that's about it. So the two of us are doing, different stuff. I know he did Outlast this week, and man, I love Outlast 2. It's one of my favorite games. I never played Outlast, but I was rocking to get to watch Adrian.
That game is a lot, man.
Yeah, it's a great game.
It's a lot.
Man, it would have been nice if you would have joined us on Twitch, Garrett. That was kind of a shame that you never showed up.
Yeah.
Well, he was there. He was there in my stream. And then he decided, I think I'm going to go play this later. And then just left. Like this whole thing wasn't his idea.
Yeah, that's the kind of things that Garrett does. And that's unfortunate, man. He talks a big game, and then he just never delivers,
Hey, you guys, we should all get together and we should play some incredibly scary games on Twitch. And I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go see something else. I gotta do something else.
Yeah, I have to play Metroid Dread, dude.
Yeah. Adrian and I have actually had discussions, Garrett, behind your back, that you're probably one of those kind of guys who promised the wife, like, hey, you wait until Thursday. I'm going to totally rock your world. And then you totally fall asleep by like 7. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of guy that I imagine you to be. I don't know for sure. I've never had a talk with Trudy specifically about, you promising things you can never deliver on. But, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Did you want to introduce me again?
I was there on Thursday, by the way, with my brother playing some Phasmophobia. So you can find all those up on youtube.com/supergamerboys. We even have a playlist. Look for the Spooky Gamer Boys playlist. You can find it there. But you guys suck. I don't know why
I do remember Jake being on the stream. That, I'm so sorry. I do remember Jake playing Van. Oh, wait, you were there too? Interesting.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Yeah.
You forget Garrett is the guest. Remember me, you, and Jake do the show. Normally.
That's right. That sounds a lot more accurate.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a favor for him. He said, "Look out for my little brother."
Yeah, little brother who happens to be taller and older. But yes, special was the words he used, and yes, that type of special. Just in case you guys are wondering, yes.
Okay, I think it's time we move on here. Well, today we're going to be talking about Super Smash Brothers' final DLC character, Ubisoft butchering yet another beloved franchise, and Twitch once again making headlines for something bad. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Toby Dalton and Kajoma01. Now, he put a little note on here and he says, oh, you can just call me Caleb Kajoma01, as if that was shorter. So I'm just going to continue to call him
What
Kajoma.
is this, like a Dwayne The Rock Johnson type of deal?
Yeah.
Like he
He
put,
just
Are we
talks
going to
about
have to
himself
change
in
his
the
name
Caleb.
again? No.
he put Caleb in quotes, and I'm like, so Caleb
That's not how that works.
Kajoma01.
No, it's got to be Caleb quotes Kajoma and then his last name. That's what now you got to change your Discord name again. Look what you did.
Yeah.
Look what you did.
I think we should just call him Quotes for short.
Quote Joma.
Man.
What's up,
So-
Quote Joma?
So those are our Patreon producers. Also, we have Super Gamer sponsors, Bill Bird, Julie Bates, Brent Fox, and Mama Mare. So thank you all so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can support us just like they do and get episodes early and ad-free. You can get shout-outs on the show like they did, or you can get our Patreon exclusive early access to our Super Gamer Book Club episode. This month's was A Little Nightmares featuring Rada Rat. That was a blast to record. Really enjoyed that one. And if you want to see some gameplay, well, you can go back to YouTube and watch JJ's Spooky Gamer Boys from last Wednesday and continue to watch on Wednesdays. He's playing through that through the month. In the end of this month, we are going to be recording the next episode coming out in November. Did we announce this last week? For some reason, I can't remember if we announced it. I think we did.
I feel like we intended to, and
Okay.
something happened and we just never got back around to it. We never swung back around.
Okay. Well, do you want to go ahead and do it? It's your show. You give it to us.
I mean, we can.
Let's do it.
So, this month's episode of Book Club, we will be covering I feel like, unappreciated little gem that is a bigger deal than people realize because they don't let this license just be made to any game. But we're covering Cadence of Hyrule this month. The rhythm-based Zelda crossover with Crypt of the Necro Dancer, dungeon crawler in a sense. And it's going to be our usual two, me and Garrett, and our special guest, Trouser Schnauzer himself, who I learned is a music major. So this is right up his alley. So definitely we're going to get some of the breakdown of how this game works musically, and I cannot wait to go over it with him.
Yeah, when he said that in our Twitter DMs, he was like, "Oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm a music major." We're like, what? Like I could have been any more perfect. This literally a music rhythm game with some of the best soundtrack because it's Zelda, connected to the Zelda franchise. And I was like, oh yes, this is going to be so good. I can't wait to, talk about this game with him. So it's going to be fun.
sick.
It also got to talk about that name because that is literally like the best name in all of Discord. I love the name Trouser Schnauzer. See, here's why it's funny. Because it's like Trouser Snake, but it's a schnauzer. So it's like saying that his penis is a dog that barks and or bites like a schnauzer.
You don't say.
Yeah, and if you've ever been bit by a schnauzer before, they also try to hump your leg. So I see what you did there. And I really like it.
Let's move on. Let's move on. We'll talk more about our Patreon later. You can talk about Trouser Schnauzer later. How about that? I think it's time for us to get into the mailbag.
I don't got anything this week. It's a good week. Let's just do it.
It's a good week. Okay.
It's been a good week. I'm still riding that high.
Adrian just wants to get to the news, so let's get through the rest of the show so we can talk about his favorite part of the week. This first question comes from Sir Prince-A-Lot. He asked, what's a movie that you enjoy that most folks think is terrible? I love the original Cloverfield.
People thought Cloverfield was terrible? Since when?
I feel like, at least in circles I've been in, a lot of people generally dislike it. I don't know if they think it's horrible, but I don't have a lot of friends, at least, that thought it was good. Most of my friends think it's trash or, would never
I've always
watch
heard
it
it's
again.
okay.
So,
I've never heard anybody say it was outright trash. That's new to me.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Movies that people think are trash, but I like. Ghostbusters 2.
People think that movie is trash?
Yeah.
That's a masterpiece.
A lot of people are like, oh, it's just the same thing over again. It's not as good as the first one. It's not, they have all these. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a really good follow-up, but oh well.
Okay.
I think people just I don't
think
know.
people are
I don't know how to put it, really.
People are wrong about Ghostbusters 2.
Absolutely.
That movie's amazing. So top of my list as far as movie that has been critically panned by everyone and I find to be fun and just awesome is the movie No Holds Barred. And that's, of course, starring Hulk Hogan. It came out in 1989. And it's the introduction of Tiny Zeus Lister, one of the greatest bad guy characters, this giant dude with a cock eye. And then it was so good that Zeus ended up, yes, Tiny Lister passed away recently. Zeus ended up making his foray into professional wrestling because of the movie and made like a huge amount of money for like a year's time, only having like 3 or 4 matches. And he was horrible, absolutely horrible, but he looked amazing. He looked amazing just standing there as this big menacing monster, so No Holds Barred, go check it out. I think it's on Amazon Prime for free right now. A masterpiece. But it's, everybody hates it and says it's cheesy and horrible, but what's not to love?
So mine isn't, I was hard to narrow it down to one, but it's only because I am actually a really big fan of the prequel trilogy of Star Wars, 1, 2, and 3. I really enjoy those ones.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show this week. We'll catch you all next week. For you audio listeners, if you don't know, both JJ and Adrian have left the studio.
Listen. You know what? Here's why I came back.
I quit.
I was going to, but I have babysitters right now. So you know what I mean? I better just use them. I'm paying for them no matter what. So I'm just going to have to kind of stick around. I got nothing else going on. So I'm going to stay on the show for tonight. This is probably going to be the last one because I'm disgusted by you right now. Disgusted.
They're not that bad. They're not that bad.
Garrett, again, what are you doing? Stop. Just stop. You've said a lot of really dumb crap on this show, man. Don't bury yourself even further. Just don't do it. Don't do it. You've got 2 men here that are disgusting.
Next question. Let's just we'll start over from scratch. Let's just let's ease on forward. Come on. Come on.
What's the next one?
I didn't think you guys would get so offended.
Just next question. Next question.
Just
you'd get
stop.
So offended.
Just stop. Do what the man says.
Okay, well, this next question is perfect. What are your favorite things about each other? You guys work together so well, and I'm glad you've kept this thing going.
That we are able to fight and get up and make up really quick without having sex. And I love that about us. I love that. Okay, so to be perfectly honest, Garrett was so wooden and alien and did not act like a normal human being when I first met him. And I love that he has softened so much and learned to take my ration of crap effortlessly. You take it like a champ constantly. I love that now it doesn't even seem to phase you and you just take it so well. With Adrian, I love that Adrian is such a deep thinking person. Adrian looks at things unlike any of my other friends. I love the way that he's able to disseminate things and take things apart and explain it in a way that is explaining it to people who are excited about video games, but in a way that we don't normally think. And so that's what I love about Adrian. I love that he's able to do that. And he makes me feel smarter when I hear him say big words and I Google that crap right after. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what he meant. And it's actually pronounced hyperbole. I thought it was hyperbole. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I appreciate that he makes me smarter. Thank you, Adrian.
Right on. The thing I appreciate most about JJ is he is a master of improvising. I could not come up with stuff as nearly as fast as he could. If you just I would be so confident of if we were on a stage and you just put a mic down and put a spotlight on and just throw JJ up there, he'll figure something out to do. But that's what I'm saying is you do it, but you don't. It's almost like you don't even think about it at points. It's like, man, you come up with zingers and bits and characters and voices, and it's like, man, I wish I had a portion of that ability. Yeah, that would be my thing. And then of course, my favorite thing about Garrett is his reliability. And I don't mean that as in like you do everything, but as in we can count on you to make sure that stuff that needs to get done gets done. You really do head everything up, and we are pretty much just like right behind you. But yeah, you take charge and you get stuff done. That's the thing I like about you the most.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, for me, well, Adrian, I love your energy that you bring, like especially with specific topics. Like I love picking a good news story that I'm like, oh, Adrian's gonna freaking love this. And yeah, just how giddy you get. That's the only thing I can describe it as, is like you just get so giddy, and I love it. And like JJ was saying, like then you just start like, I don't know, yeah, you can explain so well, like either what's going on in the story or in a game, like why so and so would like it, this type of person would like it, this kind of gamer. So yeah, I love that about you, just how passionate you are about games, and especially indie games. You've introduced me to a lot of awesome games since you joined us. This
is the point. This is the part. This is the part where he's got to say something nice about me. Holy shit. Okay,
wait, everybody.
No,
we need
okay.
a clip of this. We need a clip.
Oh my God, I'm so, okay, no, okay. Okay. You were saying,
JJ, what I love about you is your friendship, and how through the years you've stuck with me and encouraged me and helped me, and unfortunately grow and mold me into the man I am behind this microphone right now a little bit. So yeah, I really appreciate that, and that you've been willing to be that friend and not just be like, this dude's a weirdo. Screw this guy. So is you probably could have and should have about 5.5, almost 6 years ago when we met each other. So thanks for sticking by my side and being an awesome friend.
Thank you for saying that. I love you, Garrett, and I appreciate that. I know I tease you a lot. I mean every word I say. I just want you to know that. Every word.
You mean every single word.
Except for when I told you I love you. I was saying that because we're being recorded right now, and I want people to think that I'm nice.
Oh man. Sulks in the chat. Garrett has grown into a budding young woman. Jeez. There's no relief anywhere. No relief from any of my friends.
Yeah. He pees sitting down. So this is totally true. I just want you to know that. He says because he doesn't want to make a mess, but
let's get on to the next question. This one's from Shadow Ranger 02, and he asked, "What's y'all's favorite comic strip?"
Comic strip.
Yeah. Which
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin. Ooh, I was saying Calvin and Hobbes, man. That is a great pick.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I can't deny it. I'm going with Calvin and Hobbes too. I'm
also
fantastic.
50-50 on Garfield, because sometimes there is a excellent Garfield strip, but sometimes they just, I don't know what Jim Davis was thinking, but that's a really good one.
Yeah, he phoned it in a few times, for sure. But there was a lot of great Garfield stuff. Yeah.
Calvin and Hobbes is up there, but I think for me it fights with Far Side, the Far Side comics. Those ones are always so good. When I first discovered those, dude, I like went down the rabbit hole, like went to the library, had to get all the books, read through all of them multiple times. Like, it wasn't just like this is really good. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so funny, this is so hilarious, I love this. Yeah, the Far Side is up there for me.
Baby Blues is really good too. I don't know if you guys have ever read that one.
No.
That's one of those that's in like the Sunday like comic strips, right? I feel like I don't know if I've ever seen like a book of it.
It was really popular. They made a show of it and everything.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the only time I've ever seen it is like in the Sunday funnies, at my grandparents' house.
For me, maybe an honorable mention would be like Dilbert. I really like Dilbert quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always found Dilbert really stale. I don't know.
Thought it was dry. Really, I liked the dry humor. I like that.
But there's a difference between dry humor and stale humor. Like King of the Hill is a masterclass in dry humor.
Definitely.
But Dilbert, it was never really.
It didn't hit for you.
Never really hit. I was waiting for that one that was going to give me that good gut laugh. Never did.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Dilbert's another one of those. I always read it like in the Sunday newspaper, but and again, I'd read it and be like, okay, that's whatever. Like it never really struck me as funny. That's interesting that you enjoy that one, JJ. Maybe it takes a funny person to see the real humor in there.
Fair point.
Me and Adrian just aren't funny enough or deranged enough.
Deranged might be the actual word for there.
The actual word. This last question comes to us from Normcore Eddie. He writes, everyone dunks on Toby Fox for giving the Pope Undertale to play. What would you guys give the Pope to play?
Wait.
Is
Did this
a
actually
thing?
happen? He met the Pope?
Hang on, I gotta Google
Pope
this.
A copy of Undertale? What was he gonna play it on? Does the Pope have a PS4?
Where,
I think he has Game Pass, actually. I think he has Game Pass. That's
makes
what
sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm really curious. I did not look this up beforehand. Okay, here is a news article here. When one visits a pope, it's customary to bring His Holiness a gift. Matt Pat, video gaming. Oh, so it wasn't actually Toby Fox. It was Matt Pat.
Okay.
A video gaming YouTube personality was invited to the Vatican as part of a world summit on the internet, how it brings people together. Informed that you should present Pope Francis with a gift, Matt Pat chose Undertale, the indie role-playing hit by Toby Fox at launch. This is somewhat curious.
Of all games?
Yeah, instead of a disc, it's assumed he presented Francis with a Steam code. So imagine just handing the Pope a Post-it note with like a code on it.
Yeah, the Pope has a Steam account. Okay.
That's awesome.
You know, the Pope's been having a real tough time getting a 3090. So if anybody in the Catholic Church can help him out, go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
fantastic.
God.
Eddie, I'm going to tell you, this was actually a really killer question. Like, this is totally different. And like, that's really funny. That's some great stuff.
So what would you guys give the Pope? What game would you guys give the Pope to play?
Oh my God. That is funny.
I'm looking for the joke. I'm like, what's like a funny answer? And I can't come up with one right off the top of my head.
Sucks in the chat says Dante's Inferno from Xbox 360.
I'm sure he studied all of that already. He knows how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't say, but I would say, like, why not give him a game like Last of Us 2, so he could fight some zombies and like some clickers and see some awesome stuff, and then have to deal with like all the transgender stuff and all that.
I was gonna say, how's he gonna roll with that? That probably won't work out too well.
I mean, you won't be invited back to the
Vatican,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably break something while I was there anyway. Like, like all the Sistine Chapel, all the sweet
JJ, that vase is 2,000 years old.
Yeah, dude. Like, did he seriously throw pepperonis on there to dry off of that statue of David? Who does that? Yeah, I'd be the one. Yeah, I threw it as hanging off of his little clay penis. I'm sorry about that. But I thought it was gonna be funny at the time.
What if we gave the Pope God of War?
Wait, which one?
I mean, I probably the 2018 one. You got to give him the best of the best of the series.
Okay. I was just curious.
You can always give him a Steam code for the Ragnarok one. I don't know if it.
Yeah, that's true, because it's definitely coming to PC.
No, I would present him with a post-it note with a link to our podcast on it. Jeez.
Let's see. What would I give the Pope?
Don't say herpes.
Don't worry. That was like maybe fourth on the list.
Yeah, right.
You know what would be fun? I'd probably give the Pope a copy of No Mercy. WWF No Mercy. I think
Okay.
I think the Pope is like a secret wrestling fan. I feel like he really dig that. I feel like if you sat down with the Pope and you gave him a controller and you showed him, the fundamentals, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going off the top rope on you. Watch my son. Watch my son.
Watch my son.
He sounded like Mario.
Mario. Well,
He's
it's me,
Italian.
the
I
Pope.
get it. It's the Pope.
I'm telling you, I think I might be onto something. Wrestling's universal. There's
And they
leagues
do
all
have
over
creative
the world.
player. They do have creative player in that,
See,
so he
he
can
can
probably
create
make his little
himself.
character. You know,
Oh,
He can
man.
call the character His Holiness. I'm telling
and
you.
he could be using the Undertaker's finishing moves, like the last ride and the
Right.
tombstone. And yeah, and I get you.
Except he could just call it he's baptizing you, right? Like, so he's taking you and flipping you over into the water. See, I'm telling you, this could be something.
Grab you by your ankles and dip you in a pool.
Right.
No, he's a priest. He is not supposed to grab you by the ankles. That's exactly why a lot of them got into trouble, Garrett. And that was really a touchy subject. You probably shouldn't joke about that kind of stuff. Just saying, that was over the
man.
line, dude. Move on.
Okay. Well, we are done with the questions. So thank you so much for everyone who submitted to Mailbag. Remember, if you guys have questions, and you better, because we need them for the show to make it
Or
entertaining. Or else, you can go to, I forget our link, supergamerboys.com/Discord. That's what it is. Go over there, join a Discord. We have a channel over there you can submit. Or if you don't have a Discord account, that's fine. You can go to our website, email us through that, go to any social media, DM us a question, whatever it takes. We're available everywhere. Send us some questions. We'd love to have them on the show. Next, on the show notes is a brand spanking new segment, hot off the press. Still too hot to even touch here. But we're gonna do our best to tackle it here. So this was pitched by our very own Patreon producer, Caleb, in quotes, Caleb Kajoma01.
No, I cannot let you continue to get away with this. Don't let Kajoma win.
Don't let him win. And this is called, and so normally there's going to be an intro segment here with a little like intro narration from Caleb himself. But the final stuff wasn't ready in time, so we might not have it for this episode. Future episode we will have it. Unless you're watching on YouTube later, who knows? Maybe I got it tomorrow and I fixed it, but as of right now, I do not have it. So what's gonna happen here? JJ has 2 minutes. He's gonna set a timer. He has 2 minutes. He's gonna tell us a story, and we basically gotta decide, Adrian and I, is it BS or not? Is this truth or fact? Fact or crap? That's copyrighted. I didn't. Nope. That's not.
Yeah,
the
I was
game
gonna
we're
say you
playing.
better.
Nope.
You're playing with
that's
fire
someone
here.
else's. That's someone else's property. So yeah, we have to decide. Okay, is this a legit story or is he making it up? And yeah, so that's what it is. 2 minute timer. 2 minutes is up. He's done telling the story. If he's done sooner, that's fine too. But we have to put a limit because we're hoping to be able to put this up on our TikTok. That's right. You can go to tiktok.com/supergamerboys. I think that's how it works. I don't know how TikTok works.
How do you do, fellow TikTok users?
Yeah, that's about it. So JJ, whenever you're ready, set your timer and give us a 2 minute story so Adrian and I can be blown away by your BS.
Well, welcome to the first edition of Tall Tales with JJ. So this week, I went to the sixth greatest zoo in the world. That's right. Nebraska. Well,
BS.
no, okay, the best.
Oh, you're still going.
The
Okay.
Yeah, the
okay.
best zoo in the world, the Omaha Zoo, the Henry Dorley Zoo over in Omaha, Nebraska. And it was voted by 100% of all Nebraskans as the best zoo in the whole world. So this week, I actually ended up taking my whole family on Saturday. We went to the zoo, and through the whole course, my son was so upset because he didn't see any monkeys throw any crap. But what he did see was he saw Skyfall, which is a ski lift that goes over the top of all of the animals and then goes back the other direction. I'm afraid of heights. So at several points, as we're going over the top of lions and all these animals and stuff, Lee really did complain about. He's like, the monkeys didn't throw any poop, and I'm like, well, you have to actually throw the poop yourself. And I tried to convince him to throw the poop. He wouldn't do it. I said, that's how you do it. You get them excited by throwing the poop at them to instigate the fight, right? And he wouldn't do it. Yeah. Then we're up in the ski lift. We're going over several animals like lions, and I'm afraid of heights. So I mentioned to my son, if we fall, I'm going to break everything. He like kicked his feet. I kept like yelling at him, like, stay totally still and just hold on to the sides and stuff. Then as we're going over the rhinos, the machine stopped and froze in midair over the rhinos. The rhinos are maybe 15 to 20 feet underneath us. And I heard this loud woman yell, "Oh, hell no. This isn't part of the ride." And like, and I'm laughing to myself, but I'm also scared. And then like, we're looking down and Lee says, "Dad, that rhino's eating its crap." And I look down and the rhino's eating a huge amount of dung. And then there's another rhino that's sleeping. There you go. The other rhino's sleeping and then ends up walking up and then also sniffs at the other rhino's dung. And that's Tall Tales with JJ.
Oh, these sound like plausible things that could happen at a zoo.
I think it's BS. I 100% think it's BS. Like, he definitely went to a zoo. There's no... Why would a rhino eat its own crap? There's no way. I don't.
Why would any... Dogs do it. So there are animals that definitely do it. I don't know. I definitely feel like that's a conversation you would have with your son. And I definitely feel like there would be somebody in Nebraska that if you stop the ski lift, and she would definitely say something like that. So I'm gonna say it probably actually happened.
That was the best part. And so here's the thing: Tall Tales, it's totally true. And the woman yelling, "Oh hell no!" like was the best. And like we're sitting there and I'm laughing to myself and I told her as we went past her when the machine started back up, it was only a few minutes, but when the machine started back up and we're going past her, I said, thank God it wasn't just me because I was going to blame all the crying on him. I was going to, say that it was him that cried. And then as she's laughing and as we're going past, there's these two pretty girls, and I say pretty, they're 15, 16-year-old girls that are on the other side of the thing, going the opposite direction. Hold on, it's not getting inappropriate, I swear. And I say to my son, I go, hey, dude, say what's up to him. And he's like, stop it, Dad. I'm like, dude, all you got to do as we go by, and just like look over and be like, ladies. And I do one of those, right? And he's like, no, stop it. And I'm like, you either do it or I'm going to. Right. And it's going to be bad if I do. And he's like, no, Dad, don't stop it. I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, dude, now you're threatening death upon me? When we all had like that near-death experience a minute ago over the rhino poop, we shared a moment, son. You either do it to these young ladies or I'm going to, and it's going to be weird. They're probably going to call security on me. And like, so then as we're going by, like, I think he's going to do it. He just he's like doing the side eye and he goes, I can't. He totally wussed out. Totally wussed. Totally wussed. And if you think that I was like a good dad and was like, I'm just going to let it. No, I'm like, what the heck happened? What happened?
What happened?
We just had a near-death experience, boy. Like.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so fantastic. I'm glad you went to the zoo. I'm glad you finally went to the 6th best zoo in the world, apparently.
No, you know what? And I misspoke earlier. It actually was 6 years ago was voted the best zoo in the world 6 years ago.
Now we get... Yeah. Okay, we're getting to the bottom of this.
That was the only part I thought was truth, actually. When you said the 6th best in the world, I'm like, okay, well, I mean that part might be true. The rest of it, BS.
I've been to some crappy zoos, and I have been to Sacramento Zoo, and I've been to the Fresno Zoo, and I've been to the San Diego Zoo, albeit years ago. But I don't remember anything about them, but I sure remember rhinos eating poop and having a great time with my kid up in a ski lift while I'm crying to him. And then like you have to like do this little flippy thing where you get down to like the opposite end and then come back up the other direction. And when we get there, there's like a 20-year-old pimply kid who's sitting there, and as we're coming by, I go, hey man, if you heard any crying, it was the boy. And like the dude started laughing and he's like, yes, sir, I'll remember that, And then of course Lee was like, dude, stop it, Dad, stop it. And I'm like, dude, just take it, just take it. Okay, please. And he's like, you didn't even cry. And I'm like,
for me, Dad.
But I could have. And had I cried, like, no, but legitimately as we're going through the air, he would like kick his little feet and I'm like, stay Stop.
Oh man.
Understand?
I,
Like, we're
I
gonna
wish
fall.
I was in that. I wish I was in that cart with you too, because I would have been like swinging.
No,
Like,
I would have
as
bit.
much as-
I would have bit your nose off. Like no joke. I would have pulled my fake teeth
It's
out.
just
and
a
I'd have ripped that-
rhino. Come on now.
Well, that wasn't the problem. Here was the problem. And this is the problem that I honestly said. I even said to my son, and this is probably the thing this is going to be the clip on YouTube later that ends up, causing me issues where I get CPS called. But as we're
Oh,
going
no.
over, all the like lions and stuff like that, I was like, man, you got to stop shaking it because like if we fall, Dad is fat and like I'm going to break everything. And he's like, yeah, I feel like if we fall, I feel like you're going to be screwed. And I feel like I'm going to be fine, Dad. And I'm like, okay, dude, stop talking about us falling. He mentioned it like 8 more times. And I'm like, what?
But Dad,
Can you
but
stop?
Dad,
He's like, Dad, I'm young and I will totally survive. And I'm like, well, I appreciate you like having all that, like belief in yourself, dude. But like, what about Dad? And he's like, oh no.
but Dad, if you fall, I get all your stuff, right?
Right. And I'm like, dude, but
I
I
get
will
the
fall.
Xbox, right?
And I won't die immediately. My problem is I will like break both of my legs, and then one of those damn lions is gonna rape me, and I'm gonna end up on YouTube. Somebody's like, "Oh, George, look, the little fat guy's getting raped by a lion. Put that stuff on YouTube. We're gonna make TikTok famous."
So
You know
wait. That's the first thing you're worried about, not getting torn to shreds, limb from limb.
No, I don't want to be
and
raped.
eaten by a
I don't want to be.
them.
No, I don't.
That's
I don't
the
care if I
first
get
thing
eaten.
You're thinking about.
Hey, we're all meat, man. I get it, but I just don't want to be raped. I mean, there's got to be candlelight and some like nice music and talk kindly to me. Get me, like a little bit of like foreplay going, and so you don't just take it from
Nebraska, so this makes sense.
me.
You
Yeah, it does.
know how to court an animal, so you're not making the best case for yourself right now.
No, so honestly, Omaha Zoo lived up to everything that I've said about it. It was fantastic, barring the animal rape. It was absolutely amazing.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm glad we talked about that. I'm glad that word comes up every single episode. Somehow you manage to say someone's getting raped, and I kind of hate it.
Look here, boy. I have a quota to fill, okay? I have a quota to fill. I have Patreon supporters of my own that are like, hey,
no.
work the word rape into every episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I
Oh,
don't
boy.
like that. I
So
don't
that's
like
why I
that
just
one
kind of
bit.
I sprinkled it in there
I
like
think
turmeric.
it's time.
All right, let's go.
I think it's time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy news.
All righty. I'm glad that segment's behind this. We'll never do it again. Sorry, Kajoma. Tall Tales of JJ. Never happening again. That's the first and last. This first news story comes from IGN. In fact, all of these come from IGN. That's strange. Usually I try to get a variety here, but things happen. Joe Screbbles over at IGN writes, Smash Brothers. I don't know why I said that. Smash Brothers. No one calls it Smash Brothers, do they? Smash Bros?
The first one people did.
Smash Bros. Smash Brothers. No, I call it Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers Ultimate. Now I'm said it too many times and it sounds weird. I don't know. Smash Ultimate final DLC character is Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Baby!
We did it. You did it, Adrian. You did it. You did it.
We did it.
I'm so glad you have that.
Yes. Of course I do. Are you kidding me? It's on my keys too. Look. Hold on. Where is it? It's on my regular keys.
Wow. That's dedication.
I bring it everywhere with me. Come on now.
The full size one, you'd bring it everywhere? You didn't bring it out in San Diego with you.
Yeah, I did. It was on my keys.
Oh no, I'm talking about the big one.
Oh no, that's what I said. I bring it everywhere in some form.
Oh, I was hoping to see the big one. You should have brought the big one next time. Next time. Smash Brothers Ultimate last ever DLC character will be Sora from Kingdom Hearts, announced by series creator Masahiro Sakurai in a final presentation. A new trailer referenced the original Smash Brothers Ultimate reveal. It showed Mario throwing a fireball at an open portal, bringing Sora into the world of Smash Brothers. Sora will be added to the game on October 18th. It will cost $5.99 as a
It doesn't
standalone
matter.
and as
It's-
part of Fighters
there's no
Pass
price.
Volume 2. Yes, there's obviously the article goes on and how the gameplay is, which we don't really care about how he plays. We just care that he's in the game.
Yeah.
You did it.
Money's no
Adrian.
object, according to
You did
Adrian.
it. Money
No,
is no object. Sora.
It does not matter what they were going to try to charge for that character. I was gonna pay it. I was gonna do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this was. I woke my entire house up that morning.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, like I went up to the kitchen after everything, kind of after the direct was over, and they were like, what was going on? Did you have a nightmare? What all we heard was like bloody murder screaming from your room. And I was like, no. The complete opposite. It wasn't a nightmare. A dream came true. That's what happened.
And
man.
then they were totally thinking it was one of those wet dreams. They didn't realize it was actually real life. You just being excited and having like one of those excited moments.
Oh,
I actually saw the
I
first
can't
thing in the
replicate
morning.
it, man.
I saw the first thing in the morning, like that we did it, and I was like, "Whoa, that dude is up early this morning."
Oh man, what I love too is that last week's episode, that TikTok I put together. I didn't notice it until I was editing that TikTok that we put up, and you totally called it. Like you were just like, that's how I'm gonna react when SORA is announced tomorrow. And I was like, that's so perfect. Like obviously, you've been saying it for a long time how you wanted it, but I don't know. Too at a certain point, I don't know. I guess it just seemed too good to be true, I think, to a lot of people. And so
There was
when
so
you said that,
much-
though, when it happened, I'm like, no, we got it.
I almost recorded myself. I was like, just on the craziest off chance that something may actually happen. Maybe I should for the channel, but I didn't, because I was like, there's so much red tape involved, man. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. But man, wouldn't that have been ever since the announcement happened, all I've been doing is going on YouTube and watching different people flip out with the same intensity that I did. And man, it just makes me grin ear to ear every single time. I can't get enough of it.
That's so good. Well, I'm happy for you. I'm excited to play as him too. Like he looks pretty dope. His moveset looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's dead on. Everything is from a different game in the series, or a different move, or a different aspect of it. So they definitely did their homework.
Yeah. And with I totally blanked on what I was gonna say. Now, JJ, you have not played Smash Brothers, correct? Or do you have Smash Brothers on your Switch?
I've played Smash Bros. Ultimate on Lee's Switch, so I've played
Okay,
that.
so you guys do own it, just
Yeah.
but you don't play it very often.
No, not very. You know what? I'm not the biggest fan of it. I seem to not be great at it. Is it fun? Absolutely, and I could totally get into it and have fun, for a couple hours type of thing. But I get a couple hours in on a Smash game, and I'm good for 6 months. I don't need to play it again.
Totally.
But I can appreciate how much you guys love it, and I can appreciate for sure how awesome it is to see SORA in the game, because that's an awesome character, dude. Kingdom Hearts is amazing. So everything that is from Kingdom Hearts, it's the only series that I have found myself watching on YouTube and going, man, when am I gonna play it already? Like I gotta do it. I just gotta set the time aside to do it.
Can you give some of that energy to Garrett, please?
You don't want to play it at all, Garrett?
He bought it.
Oh, no way. And you haven't messed with it?
It's a lot of time.
And that's where I'm at, is I'm like, how do I find the time to carve it out? And I know if you were to ask Adrian's the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan, so he would tell you, find the time, man, because it's worth it.
Now, did you also see that they announced it for Switch, but it's a cloud version?
Yeah, the monkey's paw.
Yeah, you get it finally get on Switch. Yeah, you finally get on Switch, but it's the cloud version. You're streaming it over the internet. You can't just install it. So bizarre.
Here's the thing.
These are PlayStation 2 games. 2 of them were anyways.
I am 100% right there with you, Garrett. I don't understand the thought process. I can understand 3 making that a cloud version game because it's very graphically intensive.
Right.
Even, you know, base PS4 and base Xbox One had trouble running it. So I understand making that one a cloud-based one. But 1.5 and 2.5, like you're saying, they were running on PS3. They based off of games that were running on PS2. So I don't get what the hiccup was here when you have Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy 12, which are both running on the same engine that Kingdom Hearts was running on. But for some reason, and those got ported natively.
You can run The Witcher on there and Diablo.
Right, but this doesn't work for 1.5 and 2.5. But here's the other thing that I would say I may have possibly shot myself in the foot, but I am a man of my word. I did put up the tweet in the original Direct before we got the Smash Direct saying, put them on there. And I've been saying for the longest time, if you put them on there, I'm going to buy them. So, and there's public record of me saying that, so I have to be a man of my word. And when they come out, I got to get them. And it may not be the versions that I want, but I've been asking for ever since probably a year after the Switch came out for them to do that.
Oh, so, yeah. No, you've been asking for it for a long time. I mean, I would not blame you if you didn't, though. Like, I wouldn't hold you to it because it's not technically officially, you know, a regular full version. So if you want to now, I'll give you one.
I'll see. I don't know. It's the worst part about it for me is it defeats the purpose of the Switch because I'm supposed to be able to take it anywhere. Right.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really make sense. And the Wi-Fi on the base unit without, you know, hooking it up to Ethernet is not very strong at all. It takes forever to download a game. So how am I going to stream a game which is probably going to try to run it HD competently with no lag? I don't know. Well, I'll wait and see when they come out and see what people say about them. And if it's decent enough, I may bite. But if this is the only chance that I'm going to get at getting Kingdom Hearts on Switch, I got to take it because I've been asking for it. So
better than nothing. All right. So this next news story also comes from IGN from Matt Purslow, and he writes, Ghost Recon Frontline, a free-to-play battle royale is announced by Ubisoft. Ubisoft has announced Ghost Recon Frontline, a PvP first-person shooter that will be free-to-play with support for over 100 players. It's an objective-focused spin on the incredibly popular battle royale genre. Public play testing will begin this month, but a full release date has yet to be announced. Ghost Recon Frontline's flagship mode is Expedition, in which 102 players are divided up into teams of 3 to battle for victory on an island map. To win, a team must find and claim 3 pieces of intel, which allow them to then head to the designated drop zone and extract from the map. When the extraction helicopter is called, though, other players are alerted and have the chance to attack and steal the team's extraction in order to claim victory for themselves. It's an objective design that sounds like a blend of Ubisoft's own Dark Zone from The Division and Crytek's Hunt Showdown. Ubisoft also notes that there are other tactics that can be used to win. So I'm not going to lie, like, it sounds interesting, but do we really, it's in the year of our Lord 2021, do we need another battle royale?
No. And so if I can just add real quick to that, because I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than when I saw that this was one of the articles, I just don't understand why. It seems like I'm a PlayStation Plus member. I get those 3 free games or whatever it is each month with my PS5. And it seems like each month I have a different battle royale game. This month, one of them is Hell Let Loose, which is a World War II style, battle royale game or whatever. It just feels like every month there's another one coming out, and that seems to be like all that everybody's making. Like, let's make a battle royale, portion of the game. I don't think it's necessary, dude. I get it that's the way that a lot of people communicate with each other now is, hey, let's get on and we'll play Hunt Showdown together or whatever. But there's too many of them. They're all free. you already have Fortnite for that. You already have Call of Duty for that. What more do you need? You don't need, 14 different versions of Call of Duty and 14 different versions of, Fortnite. So it's just enough already. Let's stop with the Battle Royale games.
Now, to defend like Hunt Showdown, what I really loved about that, and that's something actually I'm going to be playing this month for Spooky Gamer Boys, is that game is so different because the objective isn't to kill the other people at all. Like it's to find, like, you're literally hunting these monsters. So you find clues, you hunt the monsters down, and then you can extract out of the zone. You don't have to kill a single other person. And I guess that's the same thing with Ghost Recon, but the difference between Ghost Recon and Hunt Showdown is Ghost Recon is just like a Call of Duty clone, where Hunt Showdown takes place in like the 1800s down in the bayou with like old crappy rifles. And like, so it's just like, it's a totally different game because you're using like, lever action, muzzle loader, all sorts of like crazy guns and like machetes. And yeah, so it feels like a different game because it is a different game. It has different weapons and different mechanics and different characters, and there's like weird magic involved and stuff like that. Where when you jump into like Ghost Recon, yeah, maybe it has the gameplay of like a Hunt Showdown, but the fact that, like, to me also, it like, yeah, it just looks like another Call of Duty, another Warzone. It's like, oh man, like it's another battle royale that looks just like Warzone, and maybe it plays differently, but I don't know, like it just, they all just start to blend together. And to me too, like that's not even the biggest bummer is, oh shoot, another battle royale, because obviously battle royales make money. If that's what they want to do is make money, I guess okay. But man, that's what upsets me the most is Ubisoft, and what I mentioned at the top of the show in the rundown, butchering this beloved IP. Ghost Recon is like, has history as like being an incredible franchise that Ubisoft. A lot of the Tom Clancy games were top tier Ubisoft games back in the day. I mean, we had Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, we had Rainbow Six, we had Ghost Recon, we had all these amazing Tom Clancy games, and now they've turned them into...
I don't care nothing about that.
Rainbow Six is now just Siege, which is a fun game, but it's nothing like the original Rainbow Six. I love the original Rainbow Six. Vegas, holy smokes, one of the best games on the 360. Love that game. Ghost Recon.
They care about, does it make money?
Yeah, even just a couple games ago, Ghost Recon Wildlands, such a fun game. And then what was it? The next one was Breakpoint, I think it was called. Trash. Mm-hmm. Terrible game. And then now they're trying to like recover with this Frontline. Splinter Cell, we haven't seen a Splinter Cell in like what, a decade? Like it's been a long time. So I think it's just so sad to me what Ubisoft is doing to a lot of their franchises. Assassin's Creed Valhalla wasn't terrible by any means, but it's definitely not gotten the hype that Odyssey has gotten. And prior to Odyssey, a lot of those games got a lot of crap too. Like, is this like crap? Odyssey, and then Valhalla is just kind of like, oh, okay, this is fine. So what? I don't know. Overall, I guess what I would like to ask is, like, what are your guys' feelings on the whole, like, just situation at Ubisoft? Like, what do you guys think there's more going on there than what they're letting on? The fact that they're just taking things out to the shed and shooting them. That's what it feels like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I just think that they're taking IP that they own and trying to milk every bit of, money that they can get out of it. So, I mean, I understand it. I would like to see a little more original content and not going back to the tried and true, like, oh, well, this is popular. We can make a multiplayer version of this game and capitalize on some quick, easy money. It's already there. It doesn't take a whole lot more to design a multiplayer, I guess. And that's why I think that they've become so prevalent, is because they are popular. And when it's new and it's a franchise like Ghost Recon, or if it's Call of Duty, coming up with Warzone and stuff like that, they're already popular with their campaigns and whatnot. So yeah, it's easy money to throw together stuff. And when it's brand new and it's real popular, it's a cool thing to jump on with your friends and be like, hey, Apex Legends is out right now. And remember, Apex Legends went through a crazy, growth spurt for a little while where everybody was playing it for a hot minute, and they go through like these little phases. Last of Us had a pretty cool multiplayer. The original Last of Us had a pretty cool multiplayer, like a 4-person multiplayer that was really popular for a little while. And I thought a lot of games were going to go that route. And I think that the Division has a similar thing going on right now, where Division has like one of those type of multiplayers that are really, really popular. So yeah, not for me. I don't know if you guys play that stuff at all. If that's like one of your guys' fortes, but it's not my kind of gaming. I consider that kind of stuff bro gamers. Like the guys are like just jump on and kill stuff. And I'm like, it's not. I'd rather be told a story and be invested.
Yeah. If I'm playing a shooter, it's got to be like some kind of special twist to it. Like Halo, you're basically like a super space hero, alien. You're fighting aliens. There's a hook to it that's not just military campaign. Like you were saying, I'm the big tough guy, and I go and I kill the bad guys or the terrorists every time. I don't know. That just got tiring to me after a while. I feel like the last big series that I was really invested in with that kind of thing was probably the Modern Warfare trilogy. And then after that, everything else was just kind of like, I'm over it. Like, I feel like I've experienced the best that kind of series or that kind of genre has to offer. So, I don't know. That's just me. Like, I'm stoked for Back 4 Blood coming out because you're teaming up to fight zombies. But, yeah, just straight up shooters and I don't know. It just has to have a hook to it.
But for Back 4 Blood, that seems totally different.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm interested in it.
Right. Like that seems
There's a fantastical element to it.
Right.
Yeah. And there's like the mechanic of in there where like you can build your deck and have cards that give you different special abilities and stuff like that. And even within the game, like you get different weapons and items. And there's so much more happening in the game than just a military
pick up your gun and go shoot the other guy.
Yeah. And not to, obviously we're drastically like oversimplifying some of the Call of Duty games. Like there's a lot going on, but it's still just like a military sim at the end of the day. And that's tired. And then back to what I was even feeling like was just with Ubisoft games, their recipe is tired. Like the Assassin's Creed series is the same. And this last weekend, the new Far Cry 6 just came out. And it's the same. And everyone's
they're maddening
just like,
their franchises.
Yeah, everyone's just like, it's the same. Like, so if you
they
really,
could have just
really
called
love,
it Far Cry 2021.
Yeah, if you really love Far Cry, a lot of people are saying that like it's a great game, like to get your Far Cry fix, but it's just more the same. And that's what's so frustrating with Ubisoft. It's either more the same or they're just butchering things. Like
the only positive thing that I heard was that the Juan Carlos Gianspatito, I can't say his name, but
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, the guy who was Gus Fring on Breaking Bad was a phenomenal heel character.
They always have fun. That's their like strongest thing is they always have
the best
incredible villains.
Yeah, that he was the strong suit, but it was like super predictable. It's based on Cuba, and they call it some other country or whatever, but it's essentially Cuba. And it's a lot of stereotypical stuff, so you got to be careful with that kind of stuff now. I could teach them a lot about stereotypical like stuff like that.
Yeah, not today, not right now though, not right now, not on our show. But yeah, so if you're excited about it, more power to you. Enjoy the new Ghost Recon coming out. But I just want to kind of share my personal thoughts. I'm really kind of sad and disappointed with what Ubisoft is doing over there with a lot of their franchises and just, a lot of the military shooters in general. Because, there used to be variety even within milsims, even between Call of Duty and Medal of Honor. Like there was different things, and Battlefield. Those three, like there's different things for each one that made them unique and fun. And now everything's just the same. But got to make that money. Got to make that cash.
I get it. Yeah.
So now I feel like the three of us need to do like a Super Gamer Boy stream of bro gaming, one of those things, whether it's Apex or something.
We all just play Modern War, like some Warzone together. Do some trios.
I was thinking
Try-
Battlefield. Battlefield has a lot more going for it than Warzone. I
Oh,
feel
the
like
the new
one.
Battlefield. I haven't
Because
seen
we could do
anything.
like jets, or we can get like a convoy truck and see if we can make it from one side of the map to the other without
would be-
dying.
That would be. I would love
That's
to
worth
just
that's worth the price of admission right now. I'm like,
jump in a truck that JJ's driving. Oh man, we'd never
Just
make it.
yeah, just
We'd end
everybody
up in
watch
the
each other's
tornado
back.
for sure.
We're gonna make it.
We're going the tornado for sure.
Gary,
See,
you've
that's
been-
fun, but the fact that we had to put our own twist on it is the problem.
Yeah, right. Oh man. All right. This last news story is another bummer from Twitch. This is from Adele Anchors over at IGN. Twitch hit by huge leak, including source code, payouts, and more. So, Twitch has reportedly been hit by a huge leak after an anonymous hacker posted a torrent file containing a vast amount of data for the public to access. According to a report by VGC, the hacker posted a 125 gigabyte torrent link to 4chan on Wednesday, reportedly leaking the entirety of Twitch's source code, along with creator payout reports from 2019, mobile, desktop, and console Twitch clients' proprietary services, and even an unreleased Steam competitor codenamed Vapor from Amazon Game Studios. Some have already started digging into the torrent to discover which other data points are currently on public display, with one person claiming that encrypted passwords have also been compromised in the leak. As with any data breach, account holders would be advised to change the passwords and enable two-factor authentication for extra protection. At that point, Twitch had not yet publicly commented on the issue, but there has been an update where they have confirmed that its data has been breached, has not yet commented on the severity of the issue. We will update the community as soon as additional information is available. And then the second update is Twitch has provided further response to its recent hack, revealing that it has reset all stream keys, but saying there is no indication that full credit card numbers or login credentials were exposed. Out of an abundance of caution, we have reset all stream keys. A separate update saw Twitch explain that the breach occurred due to an error in a Twitch server configuration change that was subsequently accessed by a malicious third party. Our teams are working with urgency to investigate the incident. So basically, as a way of saying, we have no idea how this happened, and we look like idiots.
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah. This was bizarre. Go ahead, JD.
This was unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate because a lot of these large companies like this, Facebook has not been immune to these breaches, and there's a lot of personal information out there. So hopefully they're gonna do some things to make sure to encrypt things a little bit better so that these types of things don't happen. But as we're getting further and further down the line, it seems like hacking is just a part of life. Like you're putting your stuff out there, you're trusting these conglomerates to take care of you and to protect your information. I'm really concerned about not just the people's credit card information that's going out there potentially, but I'd be really concerned about all the information out there about, Adrian Holmes last year in 2019 or whatever made $60,000 on Twitch. It's like, I'm just saying like that kind of information. Hey, a boy can dream, right? That type of information being out there is dangerous in the wrong hands. It's nobody's business how much you're pulling in and all that kind of stuff. So it's dangerous to have that information out there. And I hope that they put some more safeguards in the way so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Twitch has a lot of work to do just in general. And this is something that they didn't need to happen right now. And the fact that it has happened when everybody is not on the best, I should say, the fact that this happened when Twitch is already on such thin ice, I can only imagine what that headquarters looks like right now with so many people just running around trying to do damage control, and it must look insane.
I imagine it looks like what's that episode of SpongeBob where that goes in his brain? He's trying to.
Oh yeah, where everything's on fire.
They're like, wow,
we forgot his name.
We forgot his name. That's what I imagine. It's just everything's on fire and they're screaming and
you're
running
probably
around.
not too far off.
Oh man, no, yeah, and you're right, JJ. Like that is like unfortunate with everyone's money, like that sort of private information being made public. But I don't know. To me, because that's all that Twitch or Twitter was ablaze with. Everyone's like, oh, so and so is making this much, and so and so is making that much, and that's crazy, and blah blah blah. I don't know. To me, that's like the least of the worries. To me, like why, where was the outrage that yeah, everyone's like login information could have been or possibly was, you know, exposed to anyone who has this file now. Like anyone can have login information, IP addresses,
My credit card.
Yeah, they say they didn't get credit card information, but are they 100% sure? The last
Who
article I
knows?
read, yeah, the last article I read, they're still combing through 125 gigs worth of data. Like that's a lot of data to comb through. And to me, it was way overblown. Like who cares about how much they make? And a lot of the streamers even were just like, yeah, I mean, that's some of what I make. I actually make more, but that's just what I make on Twitch. You know, we have ad deals and we have sponsors and all this stuff. So they're like, that's only
We
a piece
get
of
it. You're rich. We get
yeah.
it.
That's all Twitch was full of. Is just like, oh, it's just a piece of the pie. Like that's, you know, that's not the whole story, which is like, okay, yeah, cool. You're rich. You know, you show up on the front page of Twitch. But yeah, for me, it's just like, where was the outrage about like, my private information and possibly like financial information and all that out on contact information, everything exposed to the internet. So I don't know, crazy. And yeah, you're spot on, Adrian. They're already on thin ice, and then have this happen. It really sucks to be Twitch right now. Sucks to suck. By the way, thanks Twitch for allowing us to stream our show here on your on your website.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing is because they are so popular right now, and it could have come at a worse time for them. Honestly, they've been riding a crest of popularity where a lot of people are starting to use this as a revenue stream, and it's a lot of fun for hanging out. I mean, we're like you said, we are using it currently to stream our show live out to our listeners and viewers, and it's unfortunate because I feel like it's really going to hurt the streamers. You know, they're going to be afraid to be out there and doing this, you know, and you're going to be less likely to put your credit card information in this stuff. But go out and change your passwords, man. Change your login information if you can.
That's immediately.
Two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
Can't stress it enough.
Yeah, I did that. I mean, I already had 2FA set up, but I just went out and changed my password, made sure 2FA was still set up for the right account. I'm like, okay, good to go. Everything's good.
If you make an account on a site and they don't offer two-factor authentication, do not put your credit card information in that account. Don't do it.
Good tip. Good piece of advice, sir.
Just don't do it.
All right. So that is it for the nerdy nudes this week. And now it's time for Adrian's Super Indie Boys. We got the video version this week. So
back in fashion, baby.
We are back. And let me make sure everything's good to go. Good to go. I think so. All right. We'll see you all in a second. Enjoy.
Oh, hey. Fancy seeing you here. Welcome back to the processed and edited Super Gamer Boys. You know how we normally go, so let's just jump right into it. At least I think is the first of its kind. West of Loathing is an RPG, but it's not your typical RPG. It's a comedy RPG that takes place in a Western setting. Everything down to the aesthetic of this game is hilarious. The way you walk changes, interactions with people, even stuff that they sell in buildings, the buildings themselves, the fights that you get into, the enemies you have, it's all hilarious. It's a riot. Even the art style is so simplified that when stuff happens, it feels like it's a crude kid drawing. When it's just, I can't say enough good. If you're looking for a good laugh and an actually really well built RPG, look no further. Wizard of Legend is a super fast-paced, super dynamic, and super challenging dungeon crawler. You, as a legendary wizard, over time gain access to over 100 spells, which you can use on enemies as you go through floors of different dungeons and sometimes even combine them. Everything has to be on point. Your reflexes, your timing, all of it. But when you do pull off these spells and you clear a room, you feel like Gandalf. Check it out. Okay, so this one might be cheating a little bit, but before Nintendo bought them, they developed this game independently. Snipperclips is a 4-player party game where you and up to three other people have to figure out a way to solve puzzles by cutting each other in different shapes and stacking yourselves accordingly. Let me tell you, from personal experience, this game could be a riot. Trying to figure out a way to cut the right person the right way and messing up and seeing how people look when you cut a bunch of different wrong shapes out of them, or when people try to do a Eiffel Tower type stack and it just falls over. It's a great time. Definitely pick this up, and they released DLC for it too. Another week in the can. All right, that's my 3 for this week. I'll see you next week with some more. Take care. Peace.
Alrighty, that was Super Indie Boys. Thank you so much, Adrian, for giving us some more goodies. We always
It's what I do.
Always appreciate the goods there. All right, it is now time for the Patreon ad. This is the part of the show where I tell you to go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us for starting at just $1 a month. $1 a month, and that gets you early access to shows, ad-free access to shows, whether it's Super Gamer Book Club. You get it the very month it comes out. You don't have to wait 2 months for that free feed. The regular show, this one that we're recording right now, you get that a couple days early before everyone else, and again, without the ads. $5 level, you get show notes. $10, you get shout-outs in the show for being a sponsor. $15, you can be a Super Gamer producer, just like Toby and Kajoma or Caleb. I don't even remember. I don't remember his name anymore. I don't even know what
Quotes
to call him.
Joma is what we
Quotes
started
Joma.
calling him earlier on.
Kojoma.
Kojoma. You can be just like them and pitch another segment for a show. Although this show's getting pretty full, so maybe we need to start, another show so we can fill the segments in there or something like that. Like, I feel like the Tall Tales of JJ would actually fit really nicely in that Super Later Boys. So if you ever get us that goal, remember, if you support us on Patreon, we have a goal. We hit $100 a month. We're going to start up that new show. And honestly, I think that segment would fit a lot better over
We're
there.
waiting.
So you guys get over there and support us at patreon.com/supergamerboys. You get awesome stuff and you help the show get bigger and better. And remember, if you're watching here at twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys, or if you're not watching here and you have a phone or a computer, go to twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys and make sure you follow us, hit the bell so you get notifications when we go live, And if you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime, which means you have a free subscription that you can subscribe to our channel with and get cool little emotes of mine, Adrian's, and JJ's faces to use all around the Twitch world. And we have some other emotes that, at higher tiers as well. But yeah, throw us that free sub, costs you $0. We get $5. It's fantastic. All right, that's it for the ad. Now let's get back to the show. Alrighty, guys, it's time for What You Playing. JJ, hit us.
This past Wednesday night, I started streaming Little Nightmares, which is one of my favorite games. A few months ago, you guys heard me talking about it ad nauseum for weeks and weeks on end. Well, get ready for another couple of weeks on end of me talking about Little Nightmares. I'm Twitch streaming it on Wednesday nights as part of Spooky Gamer Boys, which is what we're doing all through the month of October. I'm doing it on Wednesday nights. I think Garrett's doing Thursday nights, and then Adrian's chosen Fridays. So make sure to check each of those guys out as they do stuff. We're just having a lot of fun over there with Little Nightmares, and we'll continue that this Wednesday. Also, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going through a full playthrough again. Earlier on this month, I promised that I was going to do the straight and narrow good Christian thing of playing a good guy throughout the game. That lasted 1 week. And then after that, I went full bore, killing people and burying bodies again. It's just too fun to be so bad. And so I just love it. I'm having a blast with it, and I find myself getting worse and worse. And so I just love it. And maybe I should be streaming that so you guys can see just what a horrible human being I am. So
I mean, that's scary.
Yeah,
that is pretty terrifying.
Horrible. So maybe I'll have to do that after Spooky Gamer Boys is over.
Now, I didn't play much, so I'm not going to be talking about it when it's my turn for What You Playing. But I do want to say I installed Red Dead Redemption 2 on my computer because I got it for free there a few months back, and I played through the opening section, the worst part, because the stupid snow. I hate that part because you can't save it either. You have to get all the way through it. But, it looks beautiful, and I can use my controller, so it feels great too. So I use a controller, and it looks gorgeous. I did enjoy that time. I at this point I have too many other games for that to be my focus right now, but I'm like, okay, I might need to do this. And the reason I did it, my buddy Derek was like, you got to play it. Like, you have to play. He's like, I will literally do anything for you to play it. He's like, how much? He's like, I'll pay any amount of money for you to play it. Like, whatever it's
like, fine.
What about your buddies, Adrian and JJ, who have told you the same thing for the last 2 years? But what Derek says it once, and you're just like all over, okay, Derek, whatever you want, Derek.
Now, Derek's been telling me from the start as well. Derek's been telling me from the start as well. But I just wanted to let you know, I did fire it up and kind of was screwing around with it a little bit. So we'll see. Maybe one day I'll get to it.
It's been more JJ that's been like preaching the good word about it.
But Adrian, I was kind of trying to play it off like you finished the game too. I know we did that. You didn't. You pulled it.
Oh no! See, look, Garrett, watch.
But... Oh! Whoa!
Yeah. Look at all that dust coming off of there.
A little bit of, yeah. Maybe you could have not done that right into the camera. That kind of stuff.
Allergies.
Yeah. I saw the layer come off of that. But yeah, play that sucker. It's awesome, boys.
We'll see. Adrian, what have you been playing?
You know what I've been playing.
I know what you've been
playing. The same thing the whole world's been playing, baby.
Outlast. Oh, wait.
Well, yeah, that too. Of course, we're talking about Metroid Dread. Are you kidding me? What else is there to play this week?
Yes.
It's phenomenal. Everything about it is awesome. The difficulty is perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, it's hard. So what? Figure it out. That's the whole point. That's why they let you come back. That's why you have basically unlimited lives, so you can figure it out.
Yeah.
The animations are phenomenal. The world building itself is really good. There was one moment that caught me by surprise that I did not see coming a mile away. Garrett, I think you know what I'm talking about. When you meet a certain character that explains what's going on and the way that you respond to the character. Was not expecting that.
It's good stuff.
The combat is excellent. I really think it's really well paced. Yeah, everything about this game is firing on all cylinders. The only thing that I think might be considered it could have been a little bit better, but it's still really good, I would say probably is the music. I think the music is, I don't know, it's not touching. But then again, it's kind of unfair to compare it to Super Metroid, because Super Metroid is like it's a masterpiece. So, they did what their vision was and what they felt was the best music choice. It's not bad by any means, but when you call yourself a mainline series Metroid game, that gives me the right to compare you to the other ones now. And 5 is just not living up to the musical choices of 3. That's just the way it is. I don't think any of them do. I think it's also a bit hand-holdy.
Oh, go ahead. Hand-holdy.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I don't know, there's something about the music though when you walk into the Emmy zones.
Oh yeah, no, that's the
gives you chills.
Attribute that more to sound design though. The sound design is the best in the series, hands down. Everything about the sound design is phenomenal. The way things sound, the way your guns sound, animal noises, when just the planet creaking and moving, and the way it's melded with like flesh and technology, and everything has its own sound, and it almost uses like a surround sound depending on where you hit it and where you are in the room. All of that is excellent, but it's just the actual music tracks that are like, I don't know why this doesn't really fit here, but it doesn't. It's not a bad song, and it gets what you're trying to evoke across, but I just don't think it was the right composition for the area.
Interesting.
And I am not too crazy about Adam. I like the concept of Adam. I think he explains way too much about things I already know what I need to do about. Like, for example, I've already encountered a new Emmy unit that has a new ability, and I know that there's something different between it and the last one I fought. But when I get to the next network station, he goes through the whole thing of the last Emmy unit you fought has a different ability. You need to do this to avoid it. And it's like, I figured that out by experiencing it. You don't have to break that down and tell me how to survive from it. I did that. That's why I got here, because I survived. I figured it out. and it just feels like it goes on and on, because it's like, I already know what to do, Adam. Just tell me where I got to go next.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's incredible, but like any game, even masterpieces, there's things that could have been better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You mentioned that you didn't like it's kind of handholdy, and to be honest, like as a I think I was talking about in, I don't know if it's our Discord or another Discord server, but I've only played a little bit of Super Metroid. I've never beaten it before, and Metroid Prime 2. That's my experience with the Metroid series. That's it. So Super Metroid and Metroid Prime 2, and I haven't beaten either one of them. And so I came into this like excited. Like, I love the idea of the Metroid series. I loved what I have played of the Metroid series, but for me, they were always like so hard and so difficult because I was a dumb kid. And so
now they're difficult, and then we're dumb men.
I was going into this like excited, but like, oh man, there's no way I'm going to finish this. But 100%, like I am almost to the final boss battle. Like I think I'm within probably like an hour of the end from what I've kind of checked out. As it's like, oh, I wonder how far I am. So I did look something up just to see, not necessarily like I didn't want anything spoiled, but just want to see like, okay, how much time potentially? Like, oh, okay, I'm like maybe a couple hours from the end. Again, it depends, because there's a lot to explore. So I guess it depends on how serious you want to get. But man, I have been loving this game. You mentioned you didn't like the hand-holdiness, but for me as a casual Metroid player that loves like everything about it, but thought it was always hard before, I actually really enjoying that because it's just like, okay, and here's where you go next. Because even within that handholdiness, there's still a lot of freedom and a lot of ways to get lost. There's been a lot of times where I'm way over here on the map and I'm supposed to be way over here. Sometimes there's a few sections where they literally block you off so you can't do that. But not all the time. There's been a few times where it's like I'm way off in left field and I'm supposed to be in like a totally different zone. I'm like, oh shoot, how did I end up over
like
here?
the core of the franchise. That's what it's all about. Is just you're on your own and you're exploring things until you figure out where you got to go.
Yeah. But so what I do appreciate though is there are those times where they are like, okay, no, we're gonna help you through this, and I'm like, oh, good, thank you, because I didn't really want to spend that much time just wandering here. Like, just let me find the next area and get to it. Once you kind of learn how the maps are laid out too, you can just kind of look at a blank map and be like, oh, that little area I haven't explored, that's exactly where that's going to be. Like, it's funny. Like, this is the first Metroid game I'm potentially going to finish, and I've already like picked up the logic. Like, oh, I figured out this map. Like, I can look at it and be like, there's going to be this type of thing over here and that type of thing over there. But, dude,
see, now that you've done this,
I'm loving it so much. I'm loving it.
You can go back and you can play any of them now because now you understand how it works.
Yeah, that's what whoever I was talking. It was a different Discord server I was chatting in. I was just like, I am excited to beat this, and if it really like grabs me, to go back to all the old ones, because I think a lot of them are available on the Nintendo Online service, right?
1 and 3 are
2 isn't there either. I thought 1, 2, and 3 were
no, 2 was on Game Boy, and then it got remade for 3DS.
That's right. Yeah.
Fusion is on Wii U on the Virtual Console, and then
that was also a Game Boy Advance game as well, right? Fusion.
Right. It's also so you can get the card if you want. I mean, you can get the original cards for all of these, really, if you wanted to. Yeah,
I'll have to figure out some way to emulate it and play it. Get the carts, obviously, make it legal, and then emulate those.
Yeah, that was a whole other thing this weekend. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that people are already within like 2 or 3 days of launch. People are emulating Metroid Dread already, and Kotaku.
That's a whole different thing.
Kotaku just straight up like glorifying it. I'm like, remember Kotaku? Like, that's piracy. That's stealing. It's one thing to do that for like a 30-year-old game. It's another thing to do that for a game that's been out for 2 days too. Like,
right.
But like, not only is it wrong, but it's like,
well, they were like
really wrong.
From what I understand, from what people were saying is like, oh, they were just saying that it could be done. They're not, advocating for people to go out and do that.
There was literally a line in the article. There was literally a line in the article, though. I think that someone screenshotted. I forget who did it, but it was basically like, it was 100% just glorifying it and condoning it. Just like, yep, nope, piracy is like, or not piracy, but emulation is the way to go. Thank goodness for pirates, or I don't know. It was like this weird line. It was a really weird line that like it doesn't sound like anything that anyone should say. Like, it's like, who would say that? Like,
emulation is absolutely essential, though. I used to, especially for preservation, I used to volunteer at a museum that had a big archive of older games that have come out, from all the way back from the 70s until modern day. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those games, there is literally no way outside of emulating them to play them anymore, because a lot of them were on arcade cabinets. Where are you going to find an arcade cabinet of a certain game that was made in 1981? There's no way.
No,
right, you're not.
All emulation now. Everything's going to be emulation.
But the fact that we still have access to this game because it was preserved and it's able to be emulated is a godsend, because now people who played it in 1981 are going to be able to play it in 2081 and beyond, And
in turn, they're going to play those games that have the nostalgia. And the idea is hopefully they're going to stick around and play some of the new stuff and spend their money on that. So guys like me, I'm loving
emulation,
the old stuff.
Yeah, emulation is vital for game preservation in history for sure. I just want to make sure that that's put out there. But the sense that that Kotaku and PC Gamer are talking about, we know what time it is. We know that is, if you tell people, hey, this game that just came out 2 days ago, it runs really good on PC. Come on, man. How many people are actually going to buy the game and then dump the cart?
None of them.
Not really.
None of them.
There's a lot of sides to this, because a lot of people saying, well, people who pirate the game weren't going to pay for it anyway, so why punish them? And I'm like, I mean, and granted, I guess it's technically not a loss to the company if they weren't going to buy it, but there's no way to guarantee one way or the other that they would or would not buy it. So yeah, it's a real big gray area that you could have a really big debate about, I guess.
Yeah, I was actually just looking up the article from Kotaku because, like I said, I couldn't remember the exact quote before, so I was like, let me just look and see. And they've actually updated the article as of yesterday afternoon. An earlier version of this story was understood by many readers to be a direct suggestion to illegally download this just-released game. We regret this interpretation. And it's just a statement saying, we believe emulation is a vital part of world of gaming, not least when it comes to game preservation, while not directly encouraging anyone to break the law and download games they have not purchased. We believe our readers are intelligent adults capable of making such choices for themselves independently of us. So still not saying like, yeah, they're sticking to it. Like,
the existence of the article itself is an enticement for people to go out and download it.
100.
You're telling me, it runs, a certain way on Switch, but it runs so much better here. If you play it on PC, it runs so much better and it's so much higher def. That's the enticement, not you directly saying it.
Yeah. It's literally, the article is saying that it's running in 4K using an emulator on PC. So of course everyone's going to be like, what? A Switch game in 4K?
Right. I mean, why would I buy it on Switch?
Yeah. But
come on now.
Boy, we got a little bit of nerdy nudes there in the what you playing section. You're welcome, everyone. A little bonus segment there. But Metroid Dread's fantastic. I mean, it grabbed me.
Please play it.
If there's a game that I am willing to beat in a weekend, it's a good game. Because you guys all know I don't finish games. And I'm literally like ramping up here to the end of the game. And I'm so stoked. I'm probably going to finish it tonight after the show. If I don't spend too much time editing.
Is this in your running for Game of the Year?
To be honest, probably, because I was actually thinking about the other day. I can't really think of any other 2021 releases that I've played. So it might be the only 2021 game. Oh no, I played Back 4 Blood. I played Resident Evil Village.
Village for me has been the best game I've played this year.
It's definitely up there.
I would say so far though, yeah, this is probably up there on the list for me. This game's done really hit a spot that I didn't think it would. Oh, Little Nightmares 2 is 2021. Didn't Little Nightmares
2 come out this year?
Yeah. I didn't realize that. Interesting. Remember The Medium? That came out this year too. Oof.
Game of the year right there.
Oofy doofy.
Uncontested.
But yeah, for me, Metroid, it's up there. It's up there in one of those top spots for sure. Again, I
guess we'll have to wait till our Game of the Year episode.
Just have to wait. Alrighty, guys. Thank you all so much for listening and watching watching this episode. I can talk good. He's my
tired.
Job.
I was going to say, it's late for him.
You can support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys if you really love what we do and want us to do it more and do it better. And maybe go to speech therapy and learn how to talk or something. I don't know. Support us over at Patreon. We very much appreciate it. Remember, if we hit that goal, we can come out with another show for you guys. We would love to do that. Be a monthly show there where we could, just talk about goofy, silly stuff. Just let JJ just run. Me and Adrian can just play games while JJ just talks for an hour. How about that?
I've been waiting on that forever, and so have the people. Let's make it happen, folks.
Oh, man. And you can also go to sgbstore.com and support us over there by buying some merch. We got stickers, we got mugs, we got t-shirts, all sorts of fun stuff. Rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. On YouTube, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, ring the bell so you get notifications when we go live. Follow us on twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys. Subscribe if you have Amazon Prime. It's free. You can find us at supergamerboys.com, at supergamerboys over at Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/supergamerboys. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you?
You can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
And JJ, where would they find you, sir?
You can find me on social media at JJ Purdom on Twitter and Instagram. Most of the week, you can find me writing up a chore list for Garrett. Just making sure that he's staying on task, getting stuff done during the week.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's all I got for the show.
Social media presence is like a shooting star. Blink and you miss it.
That's true. It's just like Garrett's sex life. All right, folks. So for Garrett Morlang, Adrian Homeboy Holmes, and myself, JJ Purdom, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Hey, see how quick I got in?
Smash! Sora's in Smash!
You see how quick I Sora and smashed that sex joke all over Garrett right now? Yeah!